Why are there so few women proportionally at splash damage? Hopefully it's not anything specific about splash damage. It's just we as an industry, and in common with many other industries, we are starting from a poor position. We're starting from a long way from where we ought to be.
Well, when it comes to apply for a job, there's always a lot of self-doubt and hesitation for women. And I guess it's even more the case when it comes to apply in an industry that spent decades discouraging women and minorities to be part of it.
If you just go online and you look at the level of hate that comes across any woman in either as a games character or someone working in games, it's just so disappointing to see the amount of just things people say about them, and I would find that quite hard to move through to then want to go and work in that industry. It's like, oh, let's go work in this industry where all my work is going to get torn down by people online that I don't know. And that's the thing, that kind of encapsulates it, doesn't it? We already know that a video about women celebrated on a women's holiday is probably going to get negatively received. Why?
I think to get women in the industry, it's all about visibility. Just show them, we are actually there. This is not just men working here, which is fine, men are cool, but women are cool as well, so we have them. We have the whole palette of genders here. Isn't that great?
I think we can attract more women into the industry by having more women in senior positions. It would give people confidence that there's a long-term career path there, and also someone in a position of authority that you could bring issues to and could represent you if you didn't feel confident enough bringing it to a dude.
I think it's important to provide some good example of women who are actually working in the industry, women who are very talented and some people that they can refer to.
Getting things out there via social media, going to events, things like that, you know, having women representation at big events like E3 or Gamescom or whatever thing's coming up, to get people out there just seeing who's involved in the studios and sort of abolishing the myths that it's a guy's world.
If someone grows up with the right education and the right information, they will be more likely to pick, for example, computer science or game design as a career choice, and therefore opening the door to bring more women into the gaming industry.
When there isn't many women at a company and then there's a load of guys, it really does quite naturally become a boys' club, and I think everyone's guilty of it. You just forget to do things, and I think if we were to just be aware of that and just admit that, okay, well, we all do it, and then we might actually start making some good progress with this kind of thing as well.
How do we make the industry better? I don't think it's for me to say how we do that. I think we listen to people who will tell us how to make it better, and then we do that.
I think women aren't staying in the industry as much, or as long as men tend to, because there's more pressure to be better. So from my experience, all the women who are in the higher position always feel like really strong, really powerful women who have put everything into their career. Like, I always feel a little bit daunted by it because I just think, wow, I'm gonna have to give up everything to get to this level.
Well, the best way we can improve the industry is just by staying there and making the difference in our day-to-day roles. It may sound fairly simple, but just simply by being there, you are already making a difference.
If there are initiatives put forward that bring women together, for example at Splash we've got the Women at Splash Damage group that get together and sort of meet up and discuss issues in the studio, etc. And that's a really great way of bringing people together that you wouldn't necessarily have worked with in a project, and it shows you that there are other women in the same situation as you and you're all together and you can fight the fight.
Having an anti-harassment policy where it's expected that everyone in the company would sign it and follow it. And most importantly, I think not penalizing women for speaking their mind.
Is there anything you'd like to say to young women or people of underrepresented genders looking to get into the games industry?
I'm sorry if I've scared you.
I think it's really important that you are proud of who you are and what you've done. You're unique, you have this little thing that nobody else has, and if you take the risk to show it to people, they will love it. So just show it, show your true self.
My first advice would be don't let anyone stop you. But at the same time, be aware that the game called life, now you're playing it on hard mode. Everything will be harder for you just because you were not born a man. Have the courage to step out of the socially accepted norms and do what you need to do, have a thick skin.
You know the cliche about how typically if there's a job posting and it lists a certain number of requirements, men will apply for it if they've got 30% of the required experience and women won't unless they have 100% of the experience. That is, in my experience, absolutely true. There is one person who can definitely stop you getting a job in the games industry, and it's you. Like, if you don't apply, if you don't give a studio or a company or the industry a chance to hire you, they can't. There are lots of other things in your way. Don't add an additional obstacle.
Yeah, the lack of minorities and women in the industry means that the industry is cutting itself from many different perspectives and backgrounds that could enrich it. And I want to say that your voice and your talent deserve to be seen and heard. And come enrich the industry with your stories.